The former YouTuber turned combat sports fighter Jake Paul has been making many big claims lately. With his big fight against UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva coming up, Jake is ready to take on bigger players. In this video, we'll look at who those players are and what the 25-year-old hopes to make of his rapidly growing career as a professional boxer, starting off with his claim against the biggest name in town. Jake Paul recently sat down with the news editor at MMA Fighting, Damon Martin, to lie down on his mission of becoming the best pro boxer in the game. What that led to was plenty of tall claims from the 25-year-old. Even though he holds a boxing record of 5-0 after his debut fight in 2018 against Deji, there's still a long way to go. But the former YouTube star wants to make a big jump and fight against Floyd Mayweather. For those of you living under a rock, Mayweather remains undefeated after 50 fights in his professional boxing career. He's 50 wins and 0 losses with 0 draws. That's enough to make most players back down. Well, Jake Paul wants to change that and become the first fighter to beat him. While talking to Damon Martin, he revealed his eventual goal of defeating Mayweather and breaking his winning streak. That would be difficult to execute since the 45-year-old boxer retired from professional boxing back in 2017, and since then Mayweather has only been fighting in exhibitions. But Jake Paul, whose experience as a professional boxer doesn't even come close to Mayweather's, thinks Floyd might be hesitant to take him on. Yep, that wasn't the end of Jake Paul's rant. He believes Floyd Mayweather might agree to a head-to-head with him if they were matching up in an exhibition. Paul thinks Mayweather won't risk ruining his perfect record by fighting him in a real match. Let's see if Jake Paul's claim holds true. This isn't the first time the 25-year-old has called Mayweather out for fighting in exhibition matches. After it was announced Floyd would fight against social media star Deji in another exhibition match, Paul took to his Twitter to call him out. He straight up accused Mayweather of ruining his legacy and called his recent opponents no-name guys. The former YouTuber didn't hold back and claimed that with all these exhibition matches, Mayweather was wasting his fans' time and his own time. Then he directly challenged him to a match and claimed it would be one of the biggest matches in boxing history. We don't know if that's true, but it would surely excite to see it lead up to that. Paul stated the fight would be financially successful for both of them too, as they'd both end up making $100 million. Well, Paul isn't entirely wrong with his recent attacks on Floyd Mayweather. So far, the boxing champion has fought in 5 exhibition matches, and well, none of them was against any big names in professional boxing. His first match in 2018 was against Japan's Nasukawa, who's the only professional boxer on this list. He fought against Jake Paul's brother. His upcoming match will be up against YouTuber Deji Olatunji, who hasn't really broken out in the boxing scene yet, so Mayweather has been playing it safe so far. But it's not really that shocking, as he's explained his disinterest in a big fight many times, stating he wants to avoid getting severely injured. Moving on to Jake Paul's long-term goals for his career. So far, Jake Paul has only faced amateurs and welterweight champions in his career, so his fight against Anderson Silva will be the one to watch. It would be the first time he'd be up against a UFC middleweight champion and truly be an underdog. Silva weighs about 185 pounds, while Paul weighs around 170, and Anderson also holds the world record for having the longest title reign in UFC history at 2,457 days. He also recently defeated the Mexican multi-time boxing champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and this gives Silva an edge which Paul would definitely have to prepare for. But that's exactly what the 25-year-old has in mind. From the beginning of his young boxing career, he set his mind towards tackling bigger and better players. In the start, he would do these fights mainly to settle old grudges with competitors, but it seems he's changing his model and taking on actual skilled fighters. While speaking to MMA Fighting's Damon Martin, he expressed his excitement about how the fight with Silva would change everything. It would open up the playing field for more competition and bigger fights. But Paul also expressed his interest in settling matters with his competitors with a boxing match. He claimed that if someone were to call him out or challenge him, he wouldn't back down from it. He referred to KSI and how he'd be more than eager to beat him and make a lot of money through it as well. Let's see if a fight against KSI is on the horizon. While Jake Paul doesn't really care about his fight against fellow YouTuber KSI, his fans sure are interested. The feud between the two has been stretching out for so long that the fans just want to see it reach a conclusion at this point. In his interview with MMA Fighting, Paul claimed he would be up for the match if that meant creating more hype for other matches against serious fighters. And KSI has also admitted he would face Paul as soon as he has more wins under his belt. So now that both players have agreed to a fight, fans are wondering when it will finally happen. Well, fans no longer have to wait, as KSI's manager Mams Taylor recently spoke about it in a podcast. He stated that the clash between the two will happen in 2023. He claimed it was a guarantee from KSI's team, but it all depended on the other side and the contracts that will be written up for the two. With this confirmation, we just wonder when and where the fight would actually take place. Moving on to Jake Paul's fantasy hit list. Along with Floyd Mayweather, the young boxer has named other big fighters he wants to take down. While speaking to Sun Sport, he explained his desire to keep on excelling and taking on bigger threats. His motivation behind it all is that these fights would have to bring in the most promised pay-per-views, ticket sales, and other promotional money. So who else does he want to take on besides Mayweather? Well, he claimed the biggest fight would be against the Irishman Conor McGregor. Paul explained that fighting against McGregor would make the press conferences more captivating and draw in vast crowds. The payout would also be huge, so for him the fight would be a lot more helpful. He compared McGregor to Mayweather and once again claimed that Mayweather wouldn't really be interested in having an actual fight against him. While we don't know about Mayweather's intentions of fighting against Jake Paul, we know that he's already beaten McGregor in his last professional boxing match, so maybe Mayweather is the bigger fish to fry here. Along with these two big names, Paul also dropped boxing legend Mike Tyson's name there on the list. He stated that while Tyson has earned more fame and has more star power than the two players, his old age doesn't make him a bigger threat anymore. So for that reason, he called his eventual fight against Conor McGregor his biggest fight. But let's see if that would actually happen, or Paul would hang up his gloves for the last time after facing Anderson Silva. Finally, let's look at the predictions for Jake Paul and Anderson Silva's big match. The two will face each other on the 29th of October as Paul seeks to earn respect and validation for his boxing career. Even after he defeated veteran mixed martial artist Tyrone Woodley, many still see him as an amateur looking to shake things up. But his previous opponent Tyrone Woodley warns his critics ahead of his big match against Silva. In a recent interview with The Fighter vs. The Writer, Woodley explained Jake's motivations behind these fights. He stated that even though many people want to see him fail, he's here to stay. He described how Paul took every goal of his seriously and has the drive and passion that's needed in this sport. Woodley also claimed that Paul had no responsibilities holding him back, financial or family-wise, so he would definitely give it his all in every match. After facing him for 40 minutes in the ring, Woodley confirmed Paul was a genuine threat and had knockout power. He also praised his opponent Silva, stating he's got a new spirit ever since he retired from the game. His return had triggered a new spark in him that would be difficult to blow out, but Woodley also brought up his old age, claiming it might hold him back, but for now it seems to be a match between equals. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Jake Paul's recent take? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.